Hey guys, just wanted to bring you a video on Lena at the Lima Major. I'm making this after the games on day one, so this isn't going to be particularly definitive. Things are going to change, but we saw a lot of Lena on day one, so let's take a little bit of a look at this hero and what's going on, and think about how maybe teams will adapt. So here's some stats for you. Out of 32 total games, she was picked 14 times. She was banned the other 18 games, so 100% pick ban rate. She was picked 5th, which is the first pick after the first 4 bans. Picked on 5, 12 out of 14 times. The other 2 games, she was picked 8th after the team picked Brood on pick 5, but these are by 2 different teams in 2 different series, so it's kind of a random coincidence, I guess. So, but like in 2 cases, the teams didn't first pick her, and then the other team did not pick her, with 2 different teams again, picked 6 and 7 basically, and then the team that skipped her picking her first, went back and picked her up. Weird. She went 8 and 6 total, so a 57% win rate, being picked on 12 out of the 14 times. So pretty freaking good. She played safe lane 13 out of the 14 games. She did play 1 game on mid, and that was a loss. I thought maybe the average duration of the games would give us some interesting information, but it really didn't. Games are tending to be longer at this major for some reason. But the average duration in games where Lena won versus lost was about the same. And in terms of teammates, again, really too early to make serious conclusions, but just something to note. She won 4 games with Earthshaker, so this seems to be a pretty good combo. And she won 2 games with Snap, Puck, Enigma, Undying Clock, and Ricky, and then, lots of other heroes, obviously, at 1 game each. 3 of the games out of the 6 where the Lena lost was against Batrider, so maybe that's some sort of counter that we might be seeing. And she lost 2 games against TA, Undying, Pango, Rubik, and Tiny. I'm not sure if there's anything in particular to note about those. Again, we're pretty early. We'll see how this develops as the major continues. So who's picking Lena? Well, pretty much everybody that's allowed to. 1. The only way that Lena gets picked is by a team with second pick deciding not to ban her in favor of banning something else, right? No, except for those 2 games, she basically wasn't available in the second pick phase, and teams wouldn't be expecting her to be available if you're second pick. So the only way she's getting picked is if the teams who are second pick aren't banning her. Because if you're first pick, you don't need to ban Lena, because if they don't ban it, you'll just pick it, which is what happened. So Tundra Esports was able to pick it up in all 4 of their games. They did lose 1. Interestingly, Execration led it through in all 4 of their games. Only beat it 1 time, but, they're getting some practice against it, I guess. See if that helps them in the long run. LGD led it through in both of their games today. And eHome led it through in both of their games today. And they both lost. Entities won with it, lost with it. And Geek Slate has lost with it, but then did beat it twice and lost to it once. So they played with or against it in all 4 of their games, and they beat it twice. So that's interesting to note. Oh, and then Talon Esports 2-0 against Lena. So that's pretty impressive. And we'll take a quick look here at, these are all the games Lena won with the draft. I looked over this before. I'm not really seeing any patterns, honestly. There's, like I said, there's a large variety of heroes she's winning with. In most games she wins, she tends to have an aura carrier on her team. Like here we've got a Brood aura carrier, Lycan aura carrier. This game, not really. Tide, Brood again, Enigma. But however, if we look at the games Lena lost, I just crossed out the games that didn't have Lena in it. But in the game she lost, she had aura carriers as well. Tide, Enigma, Tide again, Tide again. No aura carrier here. No aura carrier here, I guess. But she's losing with aura carriers as well. So I don't think that's really an indicator of the game she's losing. It might just be small sample size. Maybe this... I mean, obviously the hero's broken because she's 50% win rate on first pick. This isn't if you can first pick the hero and they know you're going to first pick the hero and then you're still at 50% win rate, that's pretty impressive. I mean, it's a small sample size. We might see it change a little bit, especially as maybe she gets figured out, but it's still obviously a very good hero. So you can see here in Tundra's 3 wins with the hero, pretty different variety of picks. They did pick up Ricky twice, but only because he was allowed through. Ricky's also seeing a lot of action here at the major. Picked with Puck twice and Earthshaker twice by Talon here. They're just obviously kind of comfortable in a specific type of draft. EG picked it up with Brood. Brood's another popular hero here at this major so far. And in terms of teams trying to beat Lina, there's a lot of variety so far. We're seeing like some Naga Brood drafts. Here's a Slark Ember, another Naga with a Lycan. DP Undying didn't work. This eHome series, I was watching, this was kind of interesting. They lost to the Lina and then drafted the exact same 3 heroes again against the Lina. And then lost again faster. So this didn't work, their plan of the Undying Death Prophet. We see here a Drow not working, Drow Visage not getting the job done. This draft was interesting. Geek Slate here with the Sven support and Terrorblade, kind of going for this like high armor build. But in this game, this Lina just picked up, an MKB and, it was kind of fine. So not really seeing like armor drafts getting the better of Lina. Let's look at some of the games she lost. So we're going to see a lot of Batrider here. 3 of these games had Batrider. Looks like Geek Slate picked it up twice. Here they have a TA, high tempo core. We've got a sniper, maybe outranging her a little bit. Some of these games might have come down to the lanes being lost and like the game snowballing from there. I didn't take that quick, like that in depth of a look. Just didn't want to spend too much time on this. She's losing here to an Enigma, losing here again to a TA. I didn't notice that. So TA twice. An ET, which isn't like very common. And this game, this Tundra loss, they didn't do very well in the lanes. The Execration ran a Visage Tiny off lane against the Lina Phoenix, which is kind of, Phoenix isn't the strongest hero, and the Visage Tiny kind of owned. And this game was only 30 minutes, which is a shorter game for this major. But even, you can see here, there's a longer game that went on, and the Lina still lost like ultra late game, so it is possible. And then in this game we see a PA, which is not a common hero at the major. LGD had picked Ursa against the Lina and it didn't really work out, so maybe teams are experimenting with these like heroes that get up close and try and burst her. The PA did, so maybe we'll see some more PA. This hero is obviously a terror. There was no patch before the major, so this hero is gonna be strong. What I am most interested to see is if pro teams can come up with a way to beat this hero. At any major tournament, if there's a very strong hero, the top teams are going to try and think of a way to beat it, right? Because they don't want to have to waste a ban on it. Or if they, if the other team's going to pick it and you can beat it, that's very advantageous. So that's what I'm most interested in seeing. Like if a team like Tundra, starts to like let it through against other people and then start beating it somehow. These really cerebral teams who come up with these big new strategies. That's what I'm most interested in. Let me know what you guys think. Lina bad, patch boring, something like that. Maybe I'll do like an update to this video after a couple more days. Like I'm not going to do it every day, but maybe at the end of the group stage or something, I'll come back and recap this. If people are interested, let me know. Otherwise maybe I won't. I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Enjoy the rest of the major, and I'll catch you later.